Hi guys, welcome to PRV Fashion Academy YouTube channel. My name is Bukola. In today's class, we'll be taking body measurements. Let's get to work. The first thing you do on your mannequin or the dress form is to tie a rope to the waist, indicating the waistline, okay? Just like I have done on this dress form. And then we proceed by taking our vertical measurements. The first thing is to take measurement of the front length, which is from the highest point of the shoulder across the breast, making sure that your measuring tape passes across the breast and to the rope that I tied. This is the waistline, okay? So this is the front length. Here I have 16 inches, okay? At that point where I've taken the front length, which is the waistline, I'm going to take the circumference, okay? Take it firmly. So this is my waist circumference, while the first one that we measured is the waistline, the waist length, okay? So this is the waist circumference. We move ahead by taking the measurement of the bust point, shoulder to nipple. So from the highest point of the shoulder, measure to the nipple. So here is the nipple on this dress form. So this is the bust point, shoulder to nipple. Okay, at that point, you take the circumference of that point, which is the bust circumference. So you take your measuring tape all around the bust, like so, firmly taking, okay? So this is the bust circumference. You move ahead from the highest point of the shoulder as well. You can see my measuring tape is passing across the breast, okay? Not like this, but like so. So down to the end of the breast, which is called the under bust. So the under bust length, that is from the shoulder, the highest point of the shoulder, your measuring tape passing across the breast down to the end of the breast, which is the under bust. So this is the under bust length, and on that same point you take the circumference of the under bust, which is the under bust circumference. The first one we took, the vertical one, is the under bust line, while this one is the under bust circumference, okay? And then we move ahead by measuring the bust span. The bust span is nipple to nipple, commonly known as nipple to nipple. That is the distance between the two nipples. That is the bust span. So from one nipple to the other, we take the measurement like so. This is the bust span, okay? Then we move ahead to measure the hip line. Commonly, the distance from the waist to the hip is between 8 to 9 inches, depending on the body size, okay? So from this, my rope that I tied, I'm going to take 8 inches downwards. So this is my hip line. On this dress form, the dress form ends on the hip line, okay? So this is the hip line, and I'll take measurement of the circumference of the hip at that point. Remember I said the distance between the waistline and the hip line is between 8 and 9 inches, depending on the body size, okay? So the hip circumference is taken firmly by taking your measuring tape all around the hip line, like so, firmly taken, and this is the hip circumference. All right, now we move to the back. Okay, on the back, remember the first measurement we took on the front is the front length. Now we take the back length from the nape of the neck, that is that neck bone, the last neck bone, the end of the neck, okay? You take your measurement down to the rope, okay? The front length is 16 inches. Here I have 14 inches for this. So the back length is always shorter than the front length. So it now depends on the body height. That will determine the difference between the front and the back length. Okay, so from the nape of the neck, you take measurement down to the rope, which is the waistline. So this is the back length. All right, now we move to the shoulder. So from one end of the joining, where the shoulder is where the body, the arm, this arm joins with the body. So that part where you can move around your arm, that is the shoulder. That is where the shoulder measurement ends. If you're a slim person, when you touch the shoulder at that point, you will notice a protruding bone at that point. So that is where the shoulder ends. So from that point to the other end, that is the shoulder measurement. For fat people, you might not be able to get that bone that I just mentioned, but because I'm slim, I can touch it. So that is where my shoulder starts from. So I'll take it from that point to the other end of the shoulder. So on this dress form, the shoulder is indicated. So it's from one end like this to the other. Okay, so this is the shoulder. To identify this, this is the shoulder to shoulder measurement. All right, now we move to the neck depth. Majorly, it is advisable to take the neck depth if you are making a garment for a client, because in some cases some will not want the neck to be too deep, to be showing their their cleavage, and some will want it to be high. Do you get? So you have to measure the neck depth. Okay, so from the highest point of the shoulder, you take your measuring tape in a slanted form like this. So the neck depth can be, the neckline depth can be 4 inches, it can be 3 inches, it can be 5, it can be 6. So it depends on what the person wants. So you slant from the highest point of the shoulder like so, you slant your measuring tape towards the cleavage, okay, like this, and then you take the depth of the neckline. All right, and also in some cases you take the width of the neckline from the highest point of the shoulder at this point that we started our measurement. You take it across like this to the other end. So here, this is the neckline width. This is not compulsory. It's not compulsory because we have standard neckline width, and you can choose whichever one you want. It depends. But if you want to measure from the highest point of the shoulder to the highest point of one shoulder to the other one, is the, you take your measuring tape like so. This is the neckline width. Why we said from the highest point of the shoulder slanted towards the cleavage down like so is the neckline depth. Okay, so here I'll put this dress form aside, and then we'll move to the sleeve length and the bicep. Okay, because the dress form does not have arm, so I'm going to use this. So if you are taking the sleeve length, remember I said, okay, let me show you that part I was trying to explain. Okay, if you look at this mannequin, you can see the arm. So this is the beginning of the shoulder on this end, and it ends on the other end just like this. So this is the arm. So this joining here is where the shoulder begins from here, and it ends on the other end. So the measurement of the shoulder on this mannequin is from this joining to the other end. That is the shoulder. Do you understand that? So here, my measurement of the sleeve length starts from this joining. Okay, that's bone I explained earlier. So this is, so I'm going to take, if I'm measuring for, there are 3 major sleeve lengths that are essential. Okay, they are essential, they are very essential, you need them. Okay, so the short sleeve from that point of the shoulder, from the shoulder, okay, like this. I hope you can see that. Okay, from the shoulder like so. Take the short sleeve like this. Here I have about 7 inches. It can be 5 inches, it can be 6, it can be 7, it can also be 8. Okay, it depends on the length that the person actually wants. But you have the short sleeve, which could be here and could be here. You also have the 3/4, which is this one on the mannequin. So the 3/4 is between from about 2 to 3 inches from the elbow. So this is my elbow now. Okay, from this elbow about 2 inches downwards, that is the 3/4 length. Okay, and some will want the sleeve to end at the elbow, at the exact elbow. But here the three major length of a sleeve is the short sleeve, the 3/4, and the long sleeve. Okay, so I've taken the short sleeve. Okay, the 3/4 below the elbow like I mentioned, and then the long sleeve like so. I hope you can see that. So short, 3/4, and then long. The long is at the nip of the wrist, okay, this point of arm. This is the long sleeve. Okay, the length. Okay, at each point of the length that I have measured, okay, here the short sleeve, you take the bicep, that is the circumference of the arm at that point. Okay, here, this is how you take it. Make sure it's not too tight. Okay, let there be, release it a little, so it shouldn't be too tight. So you release it a little like this, putting one finger underneath your measuring tape like so. Okay, and then the bicep of the 3/4 as well, taken like so, and then the bicep of the long sleeve, which is the wrist, taken like so. Make sure you release it a little. Place one of your finger underneath the tape measure like so. So this, all right, so those are the basics in body measurement. I should have taken the across front and the across back, but they are not really essential because there is a standard which you can use in order to denote that while drafting a pattern. Okay, so while taking your measurement, make sure you take it twice, because a body measurement is like a means to an end. If you take it wrongly, you are going to have a wrong outcome. You are going to sew a wrong garment. So you take it rightly twice is advisable. For you to take it 2 times so that you can make corrections where necessary. All right, so as we proceed in our tutorials on this channel, we'll be taking other measurements that are related to whatever garment we are going to construct. Okay, thank you for being part of this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Click on the subscribe button, click on the notification bell so you won't miss out on any of our subsequent videos. Thank you and bye for now. Bye bye.